Good evening, everyone. Sam Tober, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're back with another quick session. Um, Sometimes when you play particular songs, you hear so many chords that in your head you wonder how can you apply them to a song. Well, this is an advanced session right here. So I may not be able to call out chord names, but I will be able to call out the locations on the keyboard in a different key. This time we're going to be in D flat. And the most watched video um, week, a month to month on my site is "I Surrender All," only because I've taken the liberty to play it traditional, and then begin to add advanced chords to it. So I'm going to give you some of those advanced chords that I'm using in the song, and I generally play them at the time that I'm thinking about them. So it's not like I have it scripted out in a book. I know that every time I get to this part of the song, I'm going to add this chord. It depends on how I actually hear it. Again, D major, D flat. Scale is all of the black keys with an F and a C in that scale. Everything I play works off the melody. And generally, I'll play low. Now, you see, I'm all the way down on this edge of the keyboard. Above, below middle C, generally your right hand shouldn't have to go, but because I want to get a certain resonant sound of chords there, I'll now basically go into the area where the left hand should be. Now these chords, hey, welcome, Chris. I'm back again. But these chords, they're all found within this scale. Now I go outside of it. When I'm thinking about it, I always mess it up. There it is. These are passing chords. And I can go a different way if I want. Oh, B flat 7. So I always have to think where the melody is going and what chords I am going to use. On the Yamaha SX70, there is a full concert grand sound that I do most of my playing on because it gives me a real full sound when I get down in this range. When I want to get real, real classical sounding. Get diminished chord. And I said I would give out some of these chord names. This is a D flat, D flat, A flat, and D flat. That's my bottom. That's going to hold my melody and my F minor chord. It's a nice jazz sound. That's your major your D major chord, right? D flat major chord. But I love this sound, a little off color. right back up and drop down to an A flat 9. Again, my bottom is being held together by C, and I'm doing a I want to call it an A flat 9, but I'm omitting all the chords. So from here, again for color, I could have that D in there if I want later on. Remember the E7th chord, F7 chord, because in that family. And I usually for the first part of this song just maneuver around those whatever I have around within the as closeness of these notes, and walk up. Change. There we go. When you get that low with these kind of chords, you have to omit so many of them just so that you can fulfill what you're trying to do. I'm trying to give it a nice bottom and then play around with the chords that are off color in a sense. So many different variations that you, again, and I call these advanced chords because you won't find them in the book unless you start tearing a book apart to see why would I put this chord and use that progression. Because now I'm walking up to the I surrender. This chord I'm gonna give you A flat, E flat, G flat, and then an F chord, C, F, A. So if I'm in the D major scale, F is in there and C is in there, so that gives me license to use chords that contain those two notes. I. Remember we talked about the +5? Straight, or which is a D minor. Remember I said when you're playing with chords, you have the ability to manipulate any chords you want, depending upon if it's going to take you somewhere. So when I surrender all, that's the scale movement, which is right in the scale, but I have a license to use the chords that fit those notes. Outside of it, of course, I am now coloring that chord. A flat 7th, just expanding it. If I were to close it up all together, it would be this chord. But I'm stretching it out to give it a nice fat sound. Now, oh. Now you can say, well, how can I throw in elements of a C and an F chord together with a B flat? Because in B flat, you have C. In F, you have C. In C, you have F and a B flat for a seventh chord. So that gives me license to go and borrow that chord. But you have to resolve out of it. Now again, this is for the advanced musicians. So if I don't break it down, it's because I am doing this for advanced musicians that maybe looked at one of my videos and had, because I don't stop when I'm doing a song. They may ask, well, why would he put that chord there? Because at that time of that recording, that's the chord I heard in my head. And I like to drop down. It depends on where I want to go. +5, right? The gospel diminished chord. B, D, F. Melody at the top, A flat. Richard Smallwood chords. Well, these are not Richard Smallwood chords. These are the jazz chords. Smallwood chords. And the left hand is finding support chords. Thinking in my head. But you know, when you have a whole palette, hey, oh, my brother-in-law James, I'm watching the Lakers tear apart the Rockets. I got plenty of time to get the football. As I say, I'm retired now, so I can do anything. I can stay up as late as I want. I told someone being retired is like being on a cruise ship. You eat whatever you want and you sleep whenever you want, and I'm loving it. But I just wanted to be able to share some more chords. After I shared the last one, I kind of left that for the intermediate musician. I want to leave out all of us musicians who just want to learn something different to add to what we already know. So. Resolve out of that, right? And resolve. A different turn, rather than the gospel diminished, a little classical. This one I am keeping to 15 minutes. Thanks for stopping in. Sam Talbot, Sound of Joy Music Services, stmusician.com. Be blessed, everyone. Stay safe.